Hi, Shane Nicholas from Fender here to tell you about the Supersonic. Supersonic's an all-tube amp that's got some really cool features, including 3 separate channels that you can foot switch between. Very simple to operate, but really wide variety of tones in here. And it's all tube, no modeling or digital anything, it's a tube amp. First up, we have our Vibrolux channel, which is based on a 1965 Fender Vibrolux reverb amp. That amp was about a 40-watt amp. It's known for having a bright, clean, twangy kind of sound like this. Great for country or surf, blues, jazz, rock, whatever you want to do. Snappy speaker kind of sound and a lot of highs. Okay, and a lot of players like Mark Knopfler and Roy Buchanan over the years had recorded with Vibroluxes. We're also hearing Fender's famous spring reverb. That's a full long spring reverb pan and tube driven, as with the old blackface amps. Let's move our preamp setting over to the Bassman. Okay, we've got it on the foot switch or on the panel here, and you can access the basic tonal character of a mid-60s Bassman head. Bassmen were originally designed for bass players, but a lot of guitar players love them, especially for rock and roll rhythm guitar, because they have a really gutsy bottom end sound with the 6-string. Or go to a single coil. And if you crank the volume up on that channel, you get even dirtier and overloaded sound for the Bassman tone. Okay, moving over to what we call the burn channel. We got the idea for this channel from a Fender amp from the past called a ProSonic. The interesting thing about that amp was that it had 2 preamp controls and it had a cascading gain stage that really gave you a lot of dirt and sustain. This is not intended to sound exactly like that amp, but it was a starting point for it. So what's neat about that kind of circuit is you have your first preamp control, which takes the signal from your guitar and generates a lot of the edge and the more biting distortion. And then it cascades from that into the second preamp stage, where you get even more overdrive. But this control, to my ear, has a little more thick overdrive tone and compression. So by playing with the settings of these 2, you can really get a lot of different tones. So let's start with the first gain up real high and the second one down lower. It's like a good old 70s, 80s rock kind of tone. But it cleans up when you turn the guitar down. You know, not a sanitary jazz or country clean, a rock and roll clean. And then turn your guitar up. Reacts to your touch, which is really good. Now let's turn the first gain control down a little bit and turn the second one up. We're going to get more of that thicker, compressed kind of overdrive, and it reminds me of when you use a Fender Blackface amp cranked up and then put a tube screamer in front of it, such as many players over the years like Stevie Ray Vaughan did. This is especially good with single coils. Let's go to the middle pickup. Okay? Now we're going to move over to the EQ section here. The Supersonic only has a few controls, but they really do a lot. And sometimes when people encounter this amp and they don't immediately love it, it might be just that they had the knobs set in a way that wasn't right for them. But you can get a lot of different tones out of it, and I'll show you a couple right here. One tone that I like to use is what I call the amp playing itself. If you think of players like Eric Johnson or Carlos Santana, they have a lot of sustain and they can make a note hang on for a long time. We're going to set our treble control down real low and have a lot of gain, and you'll see the sustain we get. And I'm not turned up that loud, so it's able to do this at a fairly moderate volume. Another thing you can do with the wide-ranging tone controls is if you had to do, what I'd call a post-millennium heavy, edgy distortion sound with a drop D tuning, you can get it. Just turn your mid control all the way off, bass up all the way, treble up maybe a little over half, drop D. The Supersonic has a really great effects loop also. It's got separate send and return level controls, so you can match the level of this loop up to any rack mount or pedal effect that you might have. In the example I'm going to show you here, I've got a delay and a chorus turned on, and then I'm going to switch them by my effects foot switch, switching the loop in and out. This loop can also be used as a boost stage if you don't use effects. Supersonic is a made-in-USA tube amplifier with a great speaker. It's a Celestion Vintage 30. They're available in the black and black pepper cosmetic treatment. We've also got a head and 212 and 412 enclosures, so you can mix and match your rig however you like. Supersonic.